Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I will review, damage test and compare the new strand linear fusion rifle from Gambit called Laser Painter with other similar linear fusion rifles we have in the game. Cataclysmic, Reeds, Taipan, the Arc One, Threaded Needle. So I will go through this video in 3 steps. First I will show you the rolls possible on this LFR, show you the gauge rolls, and then I will show you the damage numbers when compared to other linear fusion rifles, and finally a conclusion. First of all, on how to acquire the Laser Painter new LFR, here you just have to play Gambit. The reason why it's kinda bad in this season is because we cannot focus it on the Drifter yet. You can only get the new LFR from playing Gambit after the ending of every match. So you have a good chance of getting a Gambit weapon drop after a game. It's like a 70% chance of getting a weapon. When you get a weapon, you have like a 70% chance of acquiring this LFR. It was dropping like crazy for me. If you reset your Gambit rank twice or 3 times, you will have additional perks in the second and 3 column, allowing for better odds of acquiring the god roll, of course. So you have to play quite a bit of Gambit to land on the role you are chasing. Trust me, the perk pool is massive right here on Destiny 2 Foundry site. Here you can see all the roles. So I will go slowly but surely explaining what the god roll is for me personally. For the first column right here, it does not really matter, but for me personally, I would love Arrowhead Break because it will fix the recoil, making it 100, perfectly vertical, which will make landing consecutive headshots the easiest possible. Moving to the second column here, there is some nuance, but I will try to explain it very easily. There is only 2 batteries people chase here. First, it's ionized battery. The reason why this is the best battery you want on every single LFR of this precision frame is because it will boost your magazine to 6 without needing the backup mag mod. So you can still have boss spec to increase your damage by 7.7%. So this 7.77% will actually stack with all the damage bonuses. So this is like very good and much needed here to achieve good DPS. So here you can achieve 6 magazine without sacrificing boss spec basically. The reason why you want 6 magazine here on basically all LFR, so for Taipan and Reeds you need 6 magazines so you can proc triple tap twice per mag. Here there is no triple tap in the third column, so the more bullets you have the magazine, the more chances you have of proccing Vice Stinger per 1 mag. This would extend your magazine even further, allowing less reload, thus increasing your overall DPS. The second reason why it's super good is because a high magazine will low-key stack with Clown cartridge. For the longest time ever, I had a Clown cartridge Vorpal Threaded Needle. I was using this for everything since Season of the Splicer all the way to the Witch Queen. When Witch Queen dropped, I crafted Taipan, and then there was no need of using my Clown cartridge Vorpal Weapon Threaded Needle because this is by far better, and I will explain damage numbers in a second once we get to it. Here, Autolin holster is also extremely good, especially solo play. For example, when you pull this linear out to deal damage to a champion in a lost sector, you will shoot the champion, kill it, and switch back to your weapons. And then whenever you switch back to this linear to deal with a second champion, it will be automatically reloaded with this perk right here. So you can have some surge mods instead of Autolin holster mods on your boots. Here in the third column, I will only recommend Clown cartridge and Autolin holster. For the fourth column right here, I went ahead and damage tested all the damage increasing perks. For the masterwork, to be honest, either handling or reload. If you go with Clown, a reload masterwork will be the best. If you go with Autolin holster, a handling masterwork will be the best, honestly. In this video, we will also discuss fast charge time battery with a charge time masterwork, damage per mag, and DPS overall damage as well when we get to my notepad. Sadly, there is no triple tap in the third column. Sadly, there is no firing line here in the fourth column, nor frenzy, which is better than Vorpal in my humble opinion. Here's my notepad, and I will try to put it in the description if you guys want this piece of text, and it's huge, so I'll try to simplify it the best I can. I did my testing on Kali. I know she has a higher crit multiplier than all other bosses, but here the numbers doesn't really matter. They only matter for the sake of comparison. So for the base damage, they all do 30,000 340. Reeds, Cataclysmic, the new one, Laser Painter, they all do this damage number at base. You add boss back to the equation, it's 32,698. Two damage numbers are from the specific role I am using currently in game right now, with the fastest charge time possible, charge time battery, and charge time masterwork. That plus Vorpal, it will give 31,000, which is lower than boss spec. Then if you add boss spec to the fast charge time, you get 34,000. Vorpal plus boss spec combo on a normal charge time is 35,600, and we will be doing the DPS to see which one is better, because this one shoots faster, this one shoots slower but hits harder. Then we have both Harmony and Focus Fury with boss spec. They do the same amount of damage because they are both a 20% damage increase. Harmony, you need a kill with a different weapon, then you switch to the linear. Focus Fury, you will have to land half of your shots as crits to get the 20% damage increase for 10 seconds. Moving to boss breathing, which is very interesting here to say the least. It does not have a specific damage increase when it procs, but it's rather a crit multiplier increase. Comparing it to the normal base damage, it's a 39% damage increase, doing 42,000, almost 200 damage per shot. So this is amazing if you are trying to extend the DPS phase while saving ammo. Having a box breathing linear is super good, so you can save ammo, still doing damage from far, just wasting time. Moving to the final damage increase in perk here, Golden Tricorn, which is a 15% damage increase when it's times 1 and a 50% damage increase when it's times 2. Times 2 with boss spec is 49,000, which is a lot. And for the sake of comparison, this is higher than Cataclysmic with bait and switch procced with boss spec as well. That did 44,000, which makes sense because Golden Tricorn times 2 is a 50% damage increase, bait and switch is a 35% damage increase. That's why the numbers here at top are higher. Golden Tricorn times 2 is so hard to proc sometimes in a lot of boss fight scenarios. I mean, you can easily proc it on Warlock because you have the melee that has good range and has a good chance of one-shotting the target. Okay, so moving to the mag damage and mag DPS. So here the reason why I didn't bother calculating the overall DPS is because people want to have different options. Like people sometimes use Wither Horde, Izanagis, double fusions, double slugs, you name it. There is so many stuff that you can use in addition to a linear fusion rifle against a boss in a boss fight or a dungeon. I just calculated the damage per magazine and the DPS per magazine. So first, for the first scenario, we have one magazine of 6 shots, and I did the timer on that. It was 5.9 seconds to shoot 6 bullets. But to be fair, I tried it in a real scenario against Oryx, which has a massive crit spot, and I averaged 1 second per shot, trying to be precise. For the base version of all linears, it did almost 200,000 damage per magazine, averaging a 33,200 DPS. So we moved to Vorpal with the normal charge time. Here it did 213,000 damage per magazine with 36,000 DPS. So this is only 6 shots, not counting triple tap, vice reloads, only 6 shots. Moving to Harmony here, you will need 1 thrall or trash ad to proc it. You have to kill him with another weapon, then switch to the linear. That will give you a 20% damage increase to all 6 shots, doing 235 damage per magazine, almost 40,000 DPS when you are shooting the gun. Moving to Focus Fury here, you will have to land 3 crits, so then you have the damage bonus active for 10 seconds. The minimum value is as follow. You have the base number times 3, buffet times 3, that's 215 damage per magazine if you are not going to hit the reload afterwards and stop. This DPS have some potential, so if you have a good initial clown cutters reload before the damage phase, you can fire all the way to 13 shots average, so you can only fire 10 buffet shots. That's why I calculated 13 shots right here. This will do almost 500,000 damage per mag, which is really nice, but this will fall short. You know why? Because triple tap firing line linears exist. You can legit just sit between your teammates and shoot 13 shots, and that will be more than this with Taipan-4FR, with Reach Regret as well. So moving to box breathing right here, it did 42,000 damage per shot, per crit when you have box breathing active. If you just extend the DPS phase without caring about the timer, if you wait for box breathing to proc for each shot, that will give you 253,000 damage per magazine. This will rather buff your overall damage in long DPS phases. It will not enhance your DPS, it will decrease your DPS, in fact, because you are waiting for each shot. Finally, here we have Golden Tricorn plus Thread of Ascent from the Strand subclass. The reason why you need this specific fragment is to reload your gun when you throw your nade. So you need 2 thralls to make this work. That will be 294 damage per mag, which is massive. So moving to the fastest charging linear here on Laser Painter, that will be charge time masterwork with a charge time battery, Vorpal auto-holding holster. So 1 mag will shoot 5 shots because you are not enhancing your battery. You have a charge time battery. 500 charge time, you will be able to shoot 5 shots in 4.5 seconds. So that will be 170 damage per mag, averaging 37,000 DPS. So this have higher DPS than the normal Vorpal, less overall damage per mag and less overall damage per full ammo capacity. So this is all up to you if you want to consider this option or not. The charge time is good for PvP, so you can charge and headshot your targets quicker. Moving to the comparison between Cataclysmic, Reeds, Taipan, and Laser Painter. So for Cataclysmic, if you do not miss, you can fire 10 shots in 10 seconds average. Because you know how 4th time the charm works, you have 6 bullets per mag, you fire 4, you get 2 additional, so you will have 4 still in the mag. You fire those additional 4, you will get extra 2, so you can fire 10 shots with a 6 base mag if you do not miss at all. That will do 429,000 damage per magazine, averaging a 43,000 DPS when you are firing the gun. So this is really good. You can see that this damage number is higher than most of the stuff up here. That's why everyone loves Cataclysmic. The only downside here about Cataclysmic this season is that we don't have so many solar surges, so it will not get the surge damage bonus. So moving here to Taipan and Reeds for solo and raids. First, for raids, Taipan or Reed Regrets both have Vice Stinger. You can fire 8 shots with no Vice Stinger procs at all, just with triple tap. So triple tap will give you 1 bullet back in the mag when you land 3 crits. With 6 shots in the mag, you can actually fire 8. So this is the bare minimum you can fire with a 6 shots in the magazine. Average bullets per magazine with some average minimal Vice procs is 11. All the way to 13 if you are lucky. So with fire line, counting the damage values between 8 and 9. If you fire 8 shots, you will deal 313 damage with no procs. If you fire 11 shots, that's 431,000. Some good damage right here. This is with the fire line buff active, that you do not have to do anything to make a proc. You just stand near your teammates and you will be dealing this damage number. This damage number is slightly above the damage from Cataclysmic, but for this to work, you have to also not miss, just like Cataclysmic, and be near teammates, where with Cataclysmic you do not need the teammates at all, which is a bonus for solo players. A final line overall DPS will depend on the Vice Stinger RNG luck. So more Vice Stinger procs equals less reloads equals more average total DPS. So moving to solo play with Taipan and Reeds. Reeds Regret also have Autodin and Vorpal Weapon, the same as Laser Painter. Going down here to solo for Taipan-4FR. It has Field Prep and Frenzy, which is crazy. So damage values of Frenzy with boss spec are 37,602 per shot, which is crazy for solo stuff. So I just used this specific role to solo the current Grandmaster Nightfall with my Hunter. I will put a link in the top right corner of my gameplay video if you guys want to see me using this to solo the Grandmaster Nightfall. Good damage with Frenzy, has good handling, good reload with Frenzy, and the ammo capacity with Field Prep will be insane. No reserve mods. With Field Prep you get 25 reserves instead of base 20, and that's massive for solo play. More thing I want to mention, I did not use any buffs to myself with like Rift or Well of Radiance. I did not also use any debuffs during the testing. Surges this season are mostly Arc, Void, and Strand. That means some linears will perform better than others. Cells by Pitch Glass, this is amazing. I Taipan-4FR with Field Prep and Frenzy. Strand that will allow Laser Painter to shine and have a place in the current heavy linear fusion rifle solo meta, because it does not have lazy damage perks like Firing Line and Triple Tap. This gun is not something you want to use in a raid, because we do have better options, aka the Big Cheese Cataclysmic, or maybe even Triple Tap Firing Line Taipan-4FR. This is also stupid good, so this have insane DPS just by doing nothing, but in solo play it actually have its place. So if you are trying to solo a dungeon or something, I would recommend Cataclysmic, maybe Field Prep Frenzy Taipan-4FR for the ammo economy, the free damage bonus if you are in combat. But sometimes there is like a Strand Surge environment and you need to have like some Strand Surge mods on your boots, maybe for your Strand kinetic primary weapon that will also boost your heavy weapon. Here, in that scenario, you can use Laser Painter with Auto-Loading Holster and Vorpal Weapon. It's actually good, you can use it. I did use this one to solo Master Lost Sectors, and even I attempted to solo the Fallen Saber Grandmaster. Sadly, it's not crazy or meta-defining like Cataclysmic or Taipan-4FR. So yeah, that's it basically for my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video to help me out with the algorithm. See you in my next video, and peace.